for the main card, live and exclusive on Fight, streaming worldwide on pay-per-view. The first of your main card bouts, a C-Class K1 rules contest at 66 kilograms contested over 3 2-minute rounds. The first fighter from the blue corner, representing Sunshine Gym, from Fight Zone, London, Adetayo, DUROSHOLA. Tonight at 66 kilograms, he represents Kenshiro Muay Thai. Fighting out of Brighton here in England, known as Little Saki, Devrim KOWALSKI.
So welcome back to Next Generation Combat. Chris Hoekstra alongside Malcolm Martin. It is the main card tonight, coming at you live from South London here in Greater Croydon area. Malcolm, what a night it has been, and what an amazing way to kick off the main card. It's been record summer weather here in April in London, and tonight to kick off that main card, C-Class K1, 3 2-minute rounds. Adetayo, DUROSHOLA, and Devrim KOWALSKI. Two veteran fighters, two guys known to bring it, all action guys.
Yes, Chris, and again, just to clarify for people, when we say the C-Class K1, it's still amateur rules, but you can see there's no shin guards there. And if you look at the two men, what I like about Devrim KOWALSKI, he says his battles in the ring, and you'll appreciate this, are against himself. Himself, first and foremost, it's a test of himself. Like, he's called Little Saki, like his hero Saki, he says, I'm technical, I'm fast, and I'm powerful. And in this camp, he said what they've been looking at is controlling that obvious energy until he needs to unleash it. And what I'm saying is, for me, that's all talking about timing, knowing when to step on the gas. Now, Adetayo, in contrast, says he's been really working on his boxing in this camp. And his favourite technique, although he's been working on the boxing, is the flying knee, which is known in his camp as the Sunshine Airwaves.
Well, you heard it there from Malcolm Martin. All the technical details there are the numbers. 3 2-minute rounds if necessary. KOWALSKI in the red, DUROSHOLA in the blue. Both men looking very calm, professional during the walkout, Mal. That gives you a lot of indication to the psychological aspects, the mental, the emotional, as important as the physical in combat sports.
Well, Chris, we have had wonderful preliminaries at the amateur level, but we're now stepping up in class with the fighters. We might not be in the actual, say, professional ranks, but we're stepping up with fighters of real experience now. So I expect the card to take a real change here.
Oh, huge knee. Good exchange of low kicks there. KOWALSKI, DUROSHOLA. No hesitancy, no feeling out process, clash of shins. Solid check there from DUROSHOLA, but KOWALSKI all over him.
Well, this is the thing. He started hard and fast. He's driving in those kicks. And again, went to spin, but good timing from DUROSHOLA. But they have started so fast and hard, Chris. It's really, as I said, a great way to start the main card here.
Inside low kick, 2-3. Thrown from DUROSHOLA. Trying to punish those single low kicks is DUROSHOLA. Nice dump there. It won't score, but it's demoralizing nonetheless.
Well, it was just as KOWALSKI landed with the knee. And he's really trying to power in these kicks.
Spin there from KOWALSKI, a very flamboyant striker. Again, we talked about it. Both guys, all action. Everything thrown to knock you out. Southpaw for KOWALSKI. Eats an inside low kick for good measure. Spinning is KOWALSKI.
Well, you can already see the damage to the left-hand side of his ribcage, well, just below his ribcage there already, because of the way both men have planted their feet early here, Chris. And Adetayo mentioned that he was working on his boxing. I've noticed he looks to use the boxing counters to the legs when Devrim KOWALSKI closes the gap.
Good entrance here. DUROSHOLA looking to get inside, but a stiff jab there from KOWALSKI. KOWALSKI getting a little bit more comfortable here. He looks a little more loose in the pocket.
I'm glad you said that. He stayed in the pocket nicely. The right hand to the midsection, brought the knee up as well. But then doubles up the roundhouse DUROSHOLA. This is nicely balanced, Chris. But do you know what I like? The technique's good, but it's hurtful, all of it. Again, there you saw the counter straight away.
Huge right hand again. Oh, massive knee. That hurt him. Malcolm, he didn't show it, but he walked, and you could see a loss of energy there. That took the wind out of KOWALSKI, no doubt about it. What a war.
Chris, a breathtaking opening round. And as you said, it's a war. The technique is good and it's crisp, but it's thrown everything again with power.
Let's take a look at some of that action there right from the corner cam. You could see DUROSHOLA plodding onwards, but KOWALSKI, no fear, showing courage under fire. Massive connections from both guys.
Well, here's the thing. You heard that DUROSHOLA said he's working on his boxing, and he's been proving it. When the gap's been closed, one of the weapons he's used to keep KOWALSKI at bay is the left and rights over the top. But as you said, KOWALSKI's like a dervish. He keeps coming in, he keeps pushing forward. But actually, DUROSHOLA has been using that to his advantage.
So slowing down the breathing, Kenny Moisen in the corner there. Team Kanshiro crew in the house tonight. Of course, Fight Zone, excellent coaching there. Both fighters look really fresh. I mean, that was a lot of energy. They were throwing everything to try to knock each other's silly. The question is, how much more can that continue here? 2 minutes on the clock if needed.
Well, I think you'll find as they get more fatigued, that's when the connections will really start to come in. And again, KOWALSKI really looking to force the pace and back his man up. He's like a little Rottweiler, Chris, the way he comes in and likes to stay there. Sometimes it plays into Adetayo DUROSHOLA's hands, but at other times he's paid for the tenacity.
Looking for that jumping right hand. KOWALSKI, stiff jab, rear knee, loads up power. I love how he moved away and retracted his midsection to avoid the worst of an incoming knee from DUROSHOLA. I mean, these guys are just making wild decisions, almost reckless decisions, but there's clearly intent and education about it.
Well, when you talk about education, I like that term, because in that last jumping exchange from KOWALSKI, DUROSHOLA stepped off the center and threw the right hook, which just missed. But it shows, as you said, the education behind the technique as well. DUROSHOLA, he talked about that boxing. Now that's the first time that KOWALSKI has spun and landed to the midsection.
Beautiful knee again there from KOWALSKI. Left hook. That landed. KOWALSKI is making this a dogfight right now. And what I love about him, he just loves to go out there and test himself. There's no fear. He's not going to try to win a points battle right now, Malcolm.
Well, this is the thing, Chris. As I said to you, it's working in his favor 50% of the time. He's relentless. He's remorseless. He keeps coming forward. And a lot of the time it works for him, but other times DUROSHOLA can capitalize on it. And I've got a feeling that with the way these two men are approaching this, one clean shot could be absolutely vital here.
Stutter step there, a little tie hop on display from DUROSHOLA. Stiff jab there, KOWALSKI. Good evasive maneuvers, resets. Gets in, gets out. It's been a good round. That's the end.
Chris, again, very exciting. And as you said, neither man is worried about taking risks. I think of the two, KOWALSKI is the big risk taker. But it's worked in his favor half the time, as you said, when he got through with those big techniques. The other half of the time, with DUROSHOLA stepping off that center line and resetting and hitting him on the counter, it's made it a very even round again, but it's made it, for me, a hard-hitting round. Everything has been thrown, feet planted.
And let's just really kind of break that down for a second. You know, we can get all technical, but these guys are throwing heavy artillery at each other.
All the time.
And nobody's sitting with their head ducked down in the trenches.
No, KOWALSKI is setting the pace. You called that right. He's forcing DUROSHOLA to step up to the plate and counter hard because he comes in with evil intent every single time.
So, folks, an absolute barn burner. I mean, we knew it was going to be crazy, right? But it's tough to talk in commentary and be like, oh, this is going to be an awesome fight, and then all of a sudden it's just a real tactical points battle. These guys delivering in every sense.
And as I said, for me, Devrim KOWALSKI is setting the pace, forcing Adetayo DUROSHOLA to live with it, which he's doing. And that's what's made this so memorable to start a main card. And as I say that, Devrim's at it again.
It's been a more urgent bit of work so far from DUROSHOLA into the clinch. He loves that little sweep, doesn't he? Real tricky stuff.
And again, he's countered the spinning kick of Kowalski 3 out of 4 times with timing. But that's what we were saying, Chris, when Kowalski takes the risks. He flew in there and all 3 punches landed. He's a gambler, and it makes for such an exciting fight.
Oh, good body shot there. Kowalski digging to the midsection. The question is, if he goes low and doesn't protect his chin, will he pay the penalty? That's what I'm seeing right now.
That's what DUROSHOLA is looking for, as you rightly said, Chris. And I think this is why I still think halfway through this 3rd and final round, one really clean strike could end this for either man, because defensively they both throw caution to the wind when they come forward.
Popping jab there, Kowalski. And he just kind of comes in with his hands down because he knows he's going to be able to find an opening and throw in some power.
This is where, when we talk about the boxing of DUROSHOLA, he really needs that timing to come over clean over the top. Here, look at the right hand, as you mentioned, of Kowalski. It's really low, but what happens? He gets away with throwing the knee. Now this, for me, for DUROSHOLA, if I was in his corner, that right hand is constantly low. The big right hook over the top is the key. But Kowalski is getting away with it.
He's also throwing some really good sneaky checks in. He's cross-checked a couple of times really nicely. I think he's probably going to steal this round if he keeps this up and doesn't avoid any major punishment.
That's what's amazed me. He's kept it up, and as you said there, he's throwing the shots. He's throwing them from his waist now, and yet his head has still not been hit.
Massive connections there. Kowalski charges at the bell. That's 3 rounds in the books, Malcolm. An amazing fight here tonight. So Malcolm, thinking about what happened there, we talked about the power, we talked about the eagerness to go out there, entertain, and make a statement. Both guys really delivering here. What a great way to start the main card.
Unbelievable, Chris. You know, very close indeed. But I feel that 3rd round might be absolutely vital in favor of Devrim Kowalski when it comes to the judging here. Excellent bout here between these 2 men, and I think the huge effort by Devrim Kowalski in the 3rd round, where he really did throw caution to the wind. I think this 3rd round is vital, and I wouldn't be surprised if this does go to the red corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing way to start the main card. Yours is going to be a war, and boy, it is delivered. Kowalski and DUROSHOLA. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a split decision.
I can understand that.
Judge number 1 sees the contest in favor of the red corner, Devrim Kowalski. Judge number 2 sees the bout in favor of your fighter from the blue corner, Adetayo DUROSHOLA. Judge here at ringside has scored the contest a draw. It's a split draw. Once more, Devrim Kowalski.
I'm pleased with that. Both men put in so much hard work. That's a fair result. I feel happy for both men in a very, very entertaining bout indeed.